All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back for another video. My name is Brian, also known as OCD Mindful. And so today I wanted to make a video on a topic that I think is very important, that I think is worth exploring, whether you're working with a professional OCD specialist or if you're trying to tackle this thing alone. And that is the concept of core fears. Everybody has their sort of surface level OCD fear. It's very recognizable. It's on the nose. So, people with HOCD like myself had a fear that we are or might become gay. People with harm OCD have a fear that they might be murderous, psychopathic killers, and they might kill someone or themselves. You name any fear, any type of OCD theme. People with scrupulosity OCD have a fear that they're going to, or that they did offend God in some way, and they might be cast away to hell for all eternity. People who have a fear that they killed someone with their car, well, we'd label that one most likely a harm OCD sufferer as well. Whatever that surface level fear is, it is worth exploring what is the deeper fear. Because a lot of times people will do all their exposure homework on that one sort of obvious obsession, that one obvious fear, and they might make some progress on that, but they still don't feel freedom. They don't feel real freedom because they might be missing a deeper, more important even, underlying fear that's below the surface. And so it is worth asking yourself this and trying to figure it out. And if you are working with a professional, hopefully they have helped pinpoint this for you. But just to give you an example, for me with HOCD, when I started to dive deeper into, okay, I'm afraid I might be gay. Well, why? Well, it doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't feel like who I've been my whole life. I feel like I'm sort of, I'd be lying to myself or cheating my own heart and my own mind by being it. But there was more to that. There was also, I grew up religious. And so I went to Catholic school growing up. And we did hear stuff about that in my day. Hopefully they don't still teach that stuff to young Catholic or whatever your religion is, that if you go to the foundational texts of your religion, you might find some verses that are seemingly anti-gay or anything of that nature. So for me, there was more. There was a fear that I was somehow offending God. There was also the fear that since I did grow up Catholic in a slightly conservative Christian household, that I was going against the will of what my family wanted, my friends wanted, all the people in my life. And I could keep following that rabbit hole down of, okay, well, why are you afraid of that? Well, I don't want to disappoint these people. Okay, and why are you afraid of that? Well, I'm afraid really that the feelings that I'll have about all these issues are too overwhelming, and I might eventually get so depressed that I might commit suicide. For me, that was my true deep down in the core fear, was that this would sort of snowball into a thing that was truly unbearable for me, and I would opt out of life. And the thing with those OCD fears is that they operate the same way as the surface level OCD fear. Those deeper fears, it's the same question of, I don't want these things to happen. I'm not sure if they will happen. They might happen. How can I prevent them from happening? And so it was classic textbook OCD stuff, even with these more underlying fears. And why it's very important to pinpoint these is because you can work on those fears the same way you work on the surface level fear by doing exposures. And so it was very helpful for me to expose myself to those really deep, ugly, dark fears that were looming inside of me. And for the most part, what I would do with those was come up with imaginal scripts that I would read to myself and really try to nail all the parts that really spoke to me. And then, that was a fear that I was afraid, just like the gay fear, I was afraid to even entertain it. If the thought came up, it was like, no, I can't think that, can't think that. And so an exposure to that would be, make yourself think it. Make yourself think that, this could happen. The worst thing the thing that you would never want to happen, your worst fear, it could all snowball. You could eventually get there, and you're never going to know with certainty that it won't. And so all of these attempts that you're doing to try to not think it, to compare it to when you weren't feeling this way, to wish it away, all of these things, it's just OCD. It's OCD operating on a deeper fear that you may not be aware of. All right, short and sweet video today, you guys. I think that's worth exploring for yourselves, trying to get to the bottom of that. And then you have a whole new list of things you can expose yourself with. And also, you probably will start to recognize more rituals that you are doing for those deeper core fears that you may not even be realizing are rituals. All right, hey, do me a favor, put a like on this if you liked it. If you didn't, put a dislike, that's fine. Leave a comment if there's anything. You can shoot me an email if you're interested in, I'm doing a ton of one-on-ones right now, and people are really doing well. I'm getting a lot of really great feedback from people, and it's, I'm not trying to sound cheesy, it's meant a lot to me. This has been, like I've said in other videos, I didn't have any plan or expectations to go this way, and it really has been great to see people making real progress. So shoot me an email. I'm at ocdmindful@gmail.com, and we'll catch up with you next time.